Welcome to HSE Pulse, a one-stop solution for all HSE related topics. I am Srinath Ganesh, experienced HSE professional with experience from various industries such as construction and oil and gas industries. As part of NEBOSH GIC series, International General Certificate in Occupational Health and Safety, in the past two videos, we have seen complete overview about the NEBOSH GIC course, complete breakdown of the syllabus. As we have seen earlier, NEBOSH GIC consists of two papers, GIC1 and GIC2. Unit GIC1 topic is Management of Health and Safety. Under that, there are four elements available. Element 1 is why we should manage workplace health and safety. Under element 1, there are three sub-elements available. 1.1 Morals and Money. 1.2 Regulating Health and Safety. 1.3 Who does what in organization. So this video is purely about 1.1 Morals and Money. We are going to see the complete NEBOSH GIC course in the upcoming videos. So kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel HSE Pulse so that you will get updated with NEBOSH easy passing tips and full easy explained concepts and other HSE related knowledge updation thing. And also once you subscribe only, if I post the videos, it will come as a notification to your mobile. Let's go into the video. Under 1.1 Morals and Money, there are three sections available. Introduction to key terms, the moral reason for managing health and safety, the financial reason for managing health and safety. Introduction to key terms. There are three key terms available in NEBOSH GIC. Basic terms only. Health, safety and welfare. Health, the absence of disease or ill health, which is known as the health. For example, asbestos creates a health risk because if you inhale asbestos dust, you may contract lung cancer at some stage later in life, maybe 20 or 30 years after you inhaled the dust. In addition, health relates not only to physical ill health but also to psychological ill health. Example, exposure to extreme stress can lead to acute mental collapse or a nervous breakdown. Next key term is safety. The absence of risk of serious personal injury. For example, walking under a load suspended from a crane during a lifting operation is not safe. Why? Because if the load falls, serious personal injury or death could result. So, staying out of the danger area will result in safety. Next key term is welfare. Every company should provide basic welfare facilities to its employees, such as access to basic facilities such as toilet facilities, hand wash stations, dress changing rooms, restrooms, places where food can be prepared and eaten in relatively hygienic conditions, then drinking water facilities and basic first aid provision. In case of any injuries occurred to any employee, so immediate care it can be provided through first aid provision. So the company should provide it. Basic reasons for managing health and safety in the workplace. There are three main reasons for managing health and safety in the workplace. Moral reason, legal reason, financial reason. Moral reason. It is basically to avoid injuries to the employee. Legal reasons. There are rules and regulations. Depends on where the company is located. The country rules will be applicable to the company, and in addition, international rules and standards also will be applicable to the company. So, to avoid prosecution and compensation claims, so legally the company should be obligated to it. And financial reason. Whenever an accident occurs in the company, it may lead to financial loss to the company. So, to prevent the cause of accident in ill health, the company should manage the health and safety in the workplace. The moral reason for managing health and safety. It is the right thing to do. Workers go to work to earn a salary and return home in the same state without any harm or injury. They should not suffer from any ill health or serious physical injury. People expect this as a fundamental right. Workers expect it, society also expecting it. Financial reason for managing health and safety. Whenever an accident or ill health occurs, there will be a direct and indirect cost associated with that accident. Accidents in ill health can be affecting the financial resources of an organization, and in some cases, it can even put an organization out of the business. For example, if it is a small company, let's assume one fire accident has happened, complete the company has exploded. So it is difficult for the small company to come out of that huge amount of loss. So it can even put an organization out of the business and market, etc. So this is the financial argument for managing health and safety. So in order to avoid this, the company should take proactive steps to manage health and safety in the workplace. As we have seen before, when an accident occurs in the company will face both direct and indirect costs. So what is meant by direct cost? What is meant by indirect cost? Direct cost means the measurable cost arising directly from the accident. So which is directly visible. If the accident occurs means a person may be injured, first aid cost will come, then medical expenses will come. So then equipment may be damaged due to the accident, the equipment repair or replacement cost will come, etc. So indirect costs, let's say, those who arise indirectly as a consequence of the event, that is called as indirect cost. For example, accident has occurred. So up to the company regains to the normal state, the productivity will be lost. An employee may feel low morally. Then the employee may feel less motivated. These are all the indirect costs. Indirect costs are often difficult to quantify precisely and may be hard to identify. Examples of direct costs: first aid treatment, worker sick pay, repairs to or replacement of the damaged equipment and buildings, lost or damaged product, lost production time when dealing with the injury. These are the direct costs. Examples of indirect cost: reduction in staff morale, which impacts on productivity, quality, and efficiency. General difficulties in recruiting and retaining staff as a result of the accident. So, if an employee is injured due to the accident, then hiring the temporary worker may charge higher than the current staff. So, which and all incur losses to the company, and also time is also wasted. Loss of goodwill of customers following delays in production and fulfilling the orders. Damage to public image and business reputation. Damage to industrial relations, perhaps leading to industrial action, such as strikes. So these are the examples of the direct cost and indirect cost. Insured and uninsured cost. In most countries, it is compulsory to take out the employer's liability insurance. Why? Because if a worker is killed or injured at work due to any accident, there is an insurance in place. There is an insurance in place to pay the worker and also their dependents a little amount of compensation and to meet the employer's civil costs. Not all the losses will be covered by the insurance provider. Some of these losses can be insured, but many cannot. So, if any accident happens, anything happened to the worker or a company may faces losses, insurance providing companies will provide the losses incurred to the company. Not all the cost will be insured by the insurance provider. Only some losses they will be providing, some losses they will not be insuring it. So let's see it in the further slide. Examples of insured and uninsured cost. Insured cost: damage to plant, buildings and equipment, compensation paid to workers, medical cost for the injured person, legal cost associated with the legal claim for compensation. So legally, if it is applicable means, then that cost will also be insured by the insurance providing companies. So these are all the insured costs. Now let's come to uninsured costs. Examples of uninsured costs: production delays or downtime of the equipment, loss of raw materials due to accidents, time invested in accident investigation to identify the root causes of the accident, etc., criminal fines and legal costs, sick pay for injured workers, overtime to make up for lost production, hiring and training new employees, loss of business reputation. These and all will be not insured by the insurance providing companies. That's it about the element 1.1, morals and money. Hope you have understood, and I also have explained it in a simpler way. We are going to cover the complete the concepts of NEBOSH GIC course in the upcoming videos. Kindly stay updated for the upcoming videos. Kindly subscribe to HSC Pulse so that only if I post the videos, it will come as a notification to your mobile. Thanks for watching.